Good morning. Welcome to Holston Valley Unitarian Universalist Church. I'm the Reverend Tiffany Anderson. I'm the minister of this church, and my pronouns are she and her. I'm glad to be here with you today. I am especially glad to be here with you today when our community has been rocked by weather this week. I'm so grateful that we can be here together to support each other in this. There's not a single person here who's not affected, and thank goodness that we have each other. If you are visiting us for the first time today, bless you, and you are especially welcome. Wanda at the visitors table by the door can help you get oriented if you have any questions. If you have little ones, our greeters can show you the way to the nursery, which is available during the service for children ages 6 and younger. Please be aware that our services are filmed and posted on YouTube, and there's a chance you might be seen in our YouTube videos. If you want to make sure that you're not on camera, please sit in the perfume-free zone over here or in the section closest to the back table in the library over here. Today is not the service that I thought it would be. A lot has changed since Wednesday when I drafted this script using the materials from the Unitarian Universalist Association's Climate Justice Revival. In this moment, there are members and friends of this congregation without power, without water, with damage to their homes, wondering when the next time is that they will see their loved ones. We are in a liminal state as a community in the Tri-Cities, and we don't even know the extent of the damage. And that's exactly why what we do here together as a community matters. And that is exactly why the work of the Climate Justice Revival is so important. We here today are here with purpose. Let's find out how we can support each other. Let's survive with each other's help as a community. We are not the only community that has been affected. So even still, we are joining congregations all over the country for a time of renewal and recommitment at the intersection of the climate crisis and the deep justice commitments of our congregation and others like it. During this morning's worship, we will remember our interconnectedness with the earth, the air, the fire, and the water. We will be tapping into our love for people, especially those first and most impacted by climate disruption. We will be celebrating all of creation and recommitting our care and protection. And let's begin with a breath of air. I invite you to just notice your breathing, however easy or labored it may be. Let's breathe. Let's give thanks for those gathered with us and give thanks for the air, always present, supporting all life. Air has also been the element that carries song to our ears, and our choir has been preparing a beautiful opening song for us to hear. Our opening hymn, We Will Rise Together, is not in our hymnal, but the lyrics are printed in our bulletin. Please rise with us in body or spirit, for we will rise together.
Freedom is
sometimes when we reflect on the needs of our planet and our place in the web of life and look at what's going on in the world around us, fear can bubble up. But fear stifles the imagination and limits our capacity for relationships that embrace our beautiful and abundant humanity. Fear creates cynical cycles of supremacy and extricative relationships with each other and our planet. Reimagining together is how we overcome fear. Reimagining together is how we build new relationships and a new era, putting love at the center. Today, especially, we put love at the center of our work for climate justice. Please join us in the prayers of the people and planet. Our congregational response is, let us reimagine a new era together. And that is printed in your bulletin. You will say that response when I motion to you. Is it in the bulletin? Yes. Okay, good. It's been a week. Beginning right here in our congregation, we pray for ourselves, that we open our hearts to be companions, caring for a hurting world and committing to create a world of flourishing. Let us reimagine a new era together. With reverence for the great web of life and with humility, we acknowledge our place in it. We commit to protect the earth and all beings from exploitation. So we pray for land, ecosystems, all species, the entire natural world. Let us reimagine a new era together. We pray for justice for local frontline communities who are impacted first, worst, and longest by climate change and who face systemic oppression. Let us reimagine a new era together. In our reimagining, we gain the capacity to recommit to communities of mutual support, which are the building blocks of an ecosystem of mutual survival. Let us reimagine a new era together. We look towards each other, people of faith, good conscience, and spirit, leaning on one another and trusting in the hope we can create together. Let us reimagine a new era together. We make right the wrongs of the past, not by ignoring them, but by doing the difficult work of dismantling the oppressive systems and behaviors that feed our illusion of separation. May we live in a way that honors our interdependence and acts in accordance with our interconnection with all people and the planet. Let us reimagine a new era together. As we begin in local, committed communities of support, we find the strength and courage to widen our circles of concern, resisting hierarchies of value and ideologies of scarcity. Let us reimagine a new era together. We feel strongly our connection to the people whose lives are interwoven with the Doe River and the Nolichucky, to the people whose lives have changed this week, to the people of Irwin, Asheville, Augusta, and so many communities this week. Let us reimagine a new era together. In our widening and deepening connections, we discover relations in the salt-kissed islands of Gibraltar, the solid and frozen ground of Newtok, Alaska, and the life-giving valley of the Rio Guapanal. Let us reimagine a new era together. With humility and commitment, we acknowledge our part in so much harm to our relations: saltwater encroachment, dying permafrost, and the poison refuse of illegal mining. Let us reimagine a new era together. May we set down fear. May our courage to face the intersecting systems of harm lead to the strength to connect and create intersecting practices of love and healing so that all may flourish. Let us reimagine together a new era together. Reimagining together, we build new relationships. We put love at the center of our climate work, of our justice work, of our community care, and we commit. Amen. Let us take a moment of silence together.
Good morning. I'm Beth Calvert, and I am the service leader for today. Glad to be with you, and I've been here since longer than some of you have been alive, so it's been a while. Glad to be part of this wonderful community. Throughout religious history, revivals have marked periods of resurgence in people's commitment to their faith traditions. Classic American tent revivals took people out of the four walls of the church and into the world. They brought the community together and served as a galvanizing force for the future, often during times of great change or anxiety. In the midst of overlapping climate crisis and mounting social injustice, we are in a time of great change and profound anxiety. Taking a note from those who have gone before us, the UA Climate Justice Revival is meant to be a time to come together and to recommit. So we prepare to light our chalice. We reflect on these words by Reverend Megan Foley. When Unitarian Universalists light our chalice, we are doing more than moving a bit of flame from a little stick to our favorite candle. When Unitarian Universalists light our chalices, we are showing what happens when we harness the power of fire. Fire is one of our world's most sacred elements, perhaps because it always causes change. Fire warms and feeds. Fire destroys and eliminates. With a bit of attention and care, fire works with us to reveal, to show, literally to illuminate. Fire helps us to see and to survive. And so fire is an especially sacred symbol today at our climate justice revival because we are in need of change. We are in need of warmth and sustenance, and we need to clear a bright new path for ourselves and our world. May this cup of captured fire be a symbol today of our passion, our care, our brilliance in the face of great need. Like fire, we are powerful. Like fire, we create change. May it be so. As he lights the chalice, please join me in saying our vision statement, which is printed in your bulletin. We work together as a church to transform ourselves, our community, and our world by sharing love, pursuing justice, and seeking wonder. Time for all ages means we invite our kids and the youth and anybody who feels perky and young at heart to come down and join us. Rachel has developed a special song appropriate to the occasion. If you've brought anything to give to the kids' collection to help with hunger, that goes in the basket right up front too.
The lyrics I'll help you with, it's literally just reduce, reuse, recycle. Congregation, please join us in helping these children. Reduce, reuse, recycle by Jack Johnson. Times 3 is 18, and the 18th letter of the alphabet is R. We got 3 ours we're gonna talk about today. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Go into the store to buy some juice. You gotta learn to bring your own bags. Reduce your waste. You gotta learn to reduce. And if your brother or your sister's got some cool clothes, you can try them on before you buy some more of those. Reuse. You gotta learn to reuse. And if the first two R's don't work out, and if you gotta make some trash, don't throw it out. Recycle. You gotta learn to recycle. You got to reduce, reuse, recycle. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Reduce, reuse, recycle. It's a magic number. Yes, it is. It's a magic number. We've got to reduce, reuse, recycle. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Reduce, reuse, recycle.
Climate justice isn't just abstract. It starts close to home and impacts people, including all of us and our neighbors. It's not a contest between our commitments to the planet and our commitments to a more just society. In fact, those commitments are one and the same. There's a lot of ways we can live out that commitment, and a show of financial support is one of those ways. For that reason, we have chosen the Southern Appalachian Highlands Conservatory as our fifth Sunday offering recipient. During a through hike of the Appalachian Trail in 2014, Kayla discovered the importance of land protection as it relates to outdoor recreation access, climate change, and its preservation of view sheds and food sheds. That's exactly what the Southern Appalachian Highlands Conservancy has been doing in our region for the past 50 years. As a new board member, Kayla is excited to support and share the work of SAHC with us at HVUUC. Thanks, Kayla.
Hi everyone. I want to start by thanking you all for having me here on behalf of the Southern Appalachian Highlands Conservancy. Our mission and values for the past 50 years have led us to being able to conserve over 90,000 acres of both farmland and recreation area for the entire region. And I'm really thankful to be selected as a new board member and serve with their mission. Part of their mission includes protecting, stewarding, connecting, and growing. I really feel personally called to that mission. My husband and I have a farm, so we know the importance of protecting land for agricultural use. As you heard, my husband and I through hiked the AT in 2014, and I'm really thankful to have a corridor of land that we could hike through and both come to the realization of the importance that our scenic areas play, not just for being able to view them, but ecologically and for climate and just the protection of land in general from major developments or developments that don't make sense in terms of the impacts for climate change. I just wanted to take another note. The Southern Appalachian Highlands Conservancy works both in Tennessee and North Carolina, and the area that we serve has been impacted by the recent weather events. So I just wanted to take some time to acknowledge the recent catastrophic flooding and its impact on our community and extend love and light to all those affected. And, this is a time for support and healing. And the people in this region, they never fall short of stepping up to support their neighbors in times of need. So I'm very lucky to be a part of this community. So thank you all for having me, and I hope that you all will take some time to learn some more on your own about what SAHC does for the region. And you can do that by going to appalachian.org. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Kayla. At the end of the service, we will have our offering, and if you want to make a contribution to support the Southern Appalachian Highlands Conservancy, you can just put that contribution in the little white envelopes that are in your bulletin, and that will help us make sure that it goes to them instead of to our general fund. I don't think our ritual of community candles has felt so important ever. And that's really saying something, because we've had some challenging weeks before this one. As we share our joys and sorrows today, we can think about our individual lives, our community impact, and the needs of the planet, of which our current experiences are reflecting. If you want to shine a light on your journey, you can share a joy or a sorrow in person by using these candle cards that are located on the back table. In fact, I'd love it if someone could go double check the candles box for me, because I think it's been a big week for candles. If you'd like to share a joy or a concern from a distance, you can always email me at minister@hvuuc.org, and you have to tell me it's for a candles card if you want me to say it out loud when you email that to me. And we have a lot of candles, as you can imagine. I want to start with gratitude for all the people who organized our climate justice revival and all who attended yesterday. Especially big thank yous to Cindy Hatch, Beth Calvert, Rolla Wade, Ray Hatch, Dana Enzor, Lori Krause, Bob Warner, and Noel Marshall for the roles that you played in that beautiful day. A joy from our facilities trustee that we didn't have leaks in the roof this week. It's a UU miracle. A general candle for the victims of Hurricane Helene in Florida and in Georgia, in East Tennessee and North Carolina. There are many in our community that are impacted. But if I have not been given permission to share their stories today, I will not. But we can light a candle for homes damaged and loved ones cut off from communication in a world of uncertainties that we will hold for each other today, remembering that there is a love bigger than any of this, holding all of us. A concern from Ellen. My friend Caesar from Elizabethton trying to help family of missing workers in Irwin. Another candle of concern from Ellen, my grandson Eli in Asheville, no contact since Friday. A candle of concern from Dawn. My father is 90 years old and not able to live at his home anymore. My 5 siblings and I will be making a decision for where he will reside for the remainder of his life. Peace be to him and all my siblings in life transitions. A candle of joy from Tristan that was from last week, but it didn't get to me till today. Clingman's Stone has been officially renamed to Kewahi. This is the original name that the Cherokee gave to the highest peak in the Great Smoky Mountains. Kewahi means mulberry place. It is a sacred site and the highest point of their homeland, and saying the name gave me full body goosebumps. A candle of joy from Ruth. for 3 people rescued from flooding after long waiting to hear of their safety. We share with your relief. Candle of concern from Neil. Karen Harrington and her sister Janice are on a Viking cruise on the Danube River. Karen has COVID and is confined to her stateroom. A candle of concern from Neil, asking for prayers for my friends in Irwin, where I lived for a decade in the 1980s. The whole town is flooded. And I know we have many more stories that we haven't named, and that is what this place and this time is for. If you wish to light your own candle, please approach the side of the table that is closest to you, and the closer candle keeper will assist you. Please light the candles at the back of the table first so that no one has to reach over and open flame. If you wish for us to light a candle for you, please raise your hand until I acknowledge you, and I will light a candle for you. And our community is so much larger than just those who are in the building this morning, so we light a candle to hold space for those who are not physically present with us, but are ever in our hearts. light a final candle for all that remains unspoken in our hearts and minds. I didn't write a good transition, so I just want to express gratitude to the music team this week for an amazing time for all ages and for producing this beautiful choral piece. And now we're going to hear a special music from them that was also created by the Climate Justice Revival team.
No clear way out. If we work together, we'll swim through the drought. Disasters and fires we can't face alone. Remember, then this is our home. When the storms of life drown you out and your faith is low and you're full of doubt, see the children play, 'cause there is hope in us. When the winds of change will burn your fields and disasters in your life won't yield, remember that there is hope in us. You look out and see every person for themselves. They say we're alone on a sick, dying hill, trashing our problems like plastics don't kill. But every living creature calls this place home. Remember that you're not alone. When the storms of life drown you out and your faith is low and you're full of doubt, see the children play, 'cause there is hope in us. When the winds of change will burn your fields and disasters in your life won't yield, remember that there is hope in us. Like plastics don't kill, but every living creature calls this place home. Remember that you're not alone. When the storms of
Thank you so much. Whenever things go wrong, Mr. Rogers tells us to look for the helpers, and he's so right. We may enjoy getting into esoteric debates about human nature, but the deepest truth is this: whenever things go wrong, we can always find the helpers. Here's the trick about this quote that we so often forget. The message to look for the helpers is a message of hope that we give our children. When we're the adults, the message is a little different. We are the helpers. We are the helpers that the children are supposed to be looking for. This is a tricky message today because within this community, we contain both the helpers and the ones who need the help. And I can't make sweeping statements about who is who today. Often we are both. Life is just messy that way. When we are both a helper and one needing help. Thankfully, we are not alone. And in the helping and in the being helped and in the discerning where our place is in it all. Inspired by the lyrics of Hope in Us, I titled this sermon, We Are Not Alone. I didn't know what that would mean to us today back when I wrote this order of service on Wednesday, but it's true. We are not alone in this work, in the discernment of what our work is, in the helping, and in the being helped. We are not alone. Yesterday, a little over 20 of us gathered to have a series of conversations about what we could do for climate justice. Climate justice was defined very broadly, and I am grateful for that. We mapped the interconnections of justice issues and confirmed that it is all, in fact, an interdependent web. Let me tell you a little bit about that day before I bring it back to the message of our current situation. We started imagining the world that is possible. What could the world be like in 2050 if everything went right? We use 2050 because it's just far enough away to feel like some real change could happen between now and then, but it's close enough that we feel like our choices and our actions might matter. There weren't any artists in the group at all, but you can see our hopes over there on that big piece of paper. Yay, stick figures. Clean, safe water, safe, sustainable architecture, health care for everyone, a big table with good food where people talk about peace and love, good public, reliable transportation, living in harmony with the earth. With that vision to guide us, we got into groups and mapped the challenging realities that we are facing. And you can see those throughout the sanctuary with the words challenging realities in the middle. We mapped out how those challenges are interconnected. Housing insecurity, employment challenges, media misinformation, deforestation, food insecurity, pollution, regional tunnel vision, overconsumption, ageism, racism, poor infrastructure, voter suppression, for-profit prisons. Truth be told, the list can go on and on and on. So we did do a breathing exercise after that part. And we can all make a similar list. Big props to the group that just put greed in big letters and then connected it to everything, because that is so real. I suppose the best news that comes out of that exercise is realizing that there's a lot of different places and a lot of different ways that we can make a difference. That's because it's all connected. Any of the work we do on any of the problems is worthwhile. Rather than causes competing for time and resources and volunteers, we can see how all of the work matters and how we should be cheering each other on because it's all important. Grateful that the conversation didn't stop there. We started noting the ways that our communities can locally address some of the challenges we are facing. Organizing low-cost transportation, mentorships, getting in on city and county planning commissions, education, voting work, food drives and farmers markets, increasing access to recycling services, solar and wind power anywhere we can install a panel, decentralizing information, farmer support, mental health care and drug treatment programs, expanding low-cost child care resources, creating localized economies and bartering economies, multi-generational living spaces, and the simple, invaluable act of getting to know your neighbors. Something that I can say has personally made my challenges more addressable this weekend. God bless the neighbors. Also, partnerships with other programs like the Appalachian Trail Maintainers, Hope for Bristol, the Sierra Club, Interfaith Hospitality Network. Wow, we really aren't alone, are we? The brainstorming goes on, and I hope you'll take a look at the maps of interconnected care that we created yesterday. From there, we each engaged in an exercise that any of us can do. In fact, we have a few extra sheets on the back table if you want to do it yourself. We each got with partners and explored 3 different overlapping circles, and these are beautiful overlapping circles. First circle, what does my community need? Oh, wow, we probably know a lot about that one right now. Second, what brings me joy? Oh, wow, I need to lean into that one right now. And third, what do I have to offer? Probably more than any of us realize. Ironically, because of our current challenges, I have a similar version of that exercise for our entire community posted in the foyer today, where people can identify their needs, what my community needs, where people can identify what they have to offer their community in their time of need. And in this time of greatest need, I think that what brings me joy right now is going to be seeing our people's needs met. At the intersection of these circles are the places where we can really make a difference in a way that is sustainable, not that burns us out. It's not about figuring out everyone else's work, but about what it is that is your work to do, and then celebrating how it is interconnected with everyone else's work. What is your work to do? How does what you have to offer and what brings you joy connect to what the community needs? If you are in a place to give, if you are in a place to help, this is your message. If you are not in a place to give or a place to help today, then your work is to let us know and to let us help. And I know that is just as hard as helping sometimes. Breathe in these questions. Feel it in your heartbeat and your veins. What is yours to do today? Next month can be next month. What is yours to do today? Whether you have a clear sense of that calling in this moment, or if you just know that you want to find your work to do today, we want to celebrate this in ritual action. Rituals facilitate connection and a sense of community, and they help us promote the values that we share. This ritual for action is intended to help us embody what we've been talking, thinking, and singing about this weekend. We will use water from our own kitchen as a symbol of renewal. We opened with air and fire. We close with the water of community and the earth present in our flesh and our bones, as our hands are blessed for the work of climate justice, for the work of community, for the work of loving one another. I invite those who are assisting with the ritual to come forward and get their hands blessed first. Action that you can take and then go do it, please go to one of the blessing facilitators located throughout the sanctuary for a blessing. One here, one here, one here, one here. And if you need me to come to you, please raise your hand so that if you don't need to walk that far, you don't. Here are the words you will hear. Friends, you are commissioned to act for climate justice. I bless your hands with water. May they do the work that must be done, care for those who need the touch of kindness, and create flourishing everywhere. You may come or raise your hand as needed.
We extinguish our chalice with the key words for hope in action discovered by our climate justice dialogue participants yesterday at the intersections of what our community needs, what they have to offer, and what brings them joy. These intersections were named purpose, communication, sewing, church, dreams, change, tutoring, labor, help, walk, trust, partnership, appreciation, openness, honesty, example, peace, play, intention, awareness, communication, others, leadership, risk, plan, art, friend, living, compassion, nature, service, future, generosity, environment, enthusiasm, vulnerability, and many others, including hee-haw. With these watchwords and the support of our community, we carry this flame into the world, knowing the power of our own hands. Thank you for being with us today. We'd love it if you could stay for coffee hour. Tri-Pride's coming up. And we're going to do another community art project at the HVUUC booth. Tristan is currently collecting art supplies for the collage and volunteers for the Tri-Pride booth. So there's a lot of supplies and a sign-up sheet. As you wander out, please join us and help. We've got a number of interesting learning and service opportunities coming up. Next Saturday, astronomy and geology presentations. A new covenant group meeting in October and November called Owning Your Own Religious Past. one more Get Out the Vote postcard writing gathering after church next Sunday, and the return of our congregational potlucks the Sunday after that. And today, special today only, this is putting the 3 R's to work: reduce, reuse, recycle, and repurchase if you like. We have a bunch of lovely fresh lettuce and cucumbers and tomato salad things that weren't used yesterday at the Climate Justice. If for a very small donation you would like to take that home and make your own salad, please do. And that's all out in the coffee hour room. Music Committee at HVUUC is bringing you another coffee house concert on October 19th at 4 p.m. We will have 2 musical acts and seasonal food to fundraise for the church and its music program. We're still recruiting a few volunteers to help set up and food, so you don't have to be musical. Reach out to Alicia if you'd like to help. And we hope you're thinking up what you're going to donate for the fabulous and exciting church-wide auction fundraiser in November, coming up soon. Our closing hymn is number 1064 in the Blue Teal Hymnal, Blue Boat Home, and let's celebrate our planet with this very popular hymn. This is also the time that we collect the offering. Pledges and plate donations support us in doing the work that we are called to do, sharing love, pursuing justice, and seeking wonder. Building this community where we are all trying to be the best humans we can be. Please rise with us in body or spirit for our closing hymn, number 1064, Blue Boat Home.
Thank you so much for your generosity this week and every week. May justice lead us to the calling of this moment. May wonder meet us right where we're at. May we discover our collaborators and our companions. And may love hold us through this journey of transformation. Blessed be. Amen. And go in peace. Yay, church.